is in session. Welcome to another edition of Sports Court. As always, I'm Jamal Spencer, and this week the 13 on your side law firm has decided to call in Amari Rose, a tremendous sports mind here in the marketing department at 13 on your side. Tonight's topic: do recruiting rankings create unfair pressure on athletes? Yes, it creates unfair expectations, not just for the athletes, but for the fans. Most recently, Rashawn Gary and Shea Patterson, and that's what brings this up. Shea Patterson just got cut from a USFL team. He was the #1 pick in the draft and apparently couldn't cut it in the USFL. This guy was the #1 ranked pro quarterback in high school in 2016, but he never won the big game at Michigan, never beat Ohio State, never won a bowl game, never won a Big Ten championship. But the pressure of being the #1 quarterback in the country followed him to the USFL. So when he falls short, fans always have to think, man, that guy just didn't live up to the hype.
Jamal, I get what you mean. For the fans, it does create expectations. For the players, not necessarily. When you're one of the top guys coming out of high school, coming out of college, you already wake up with that expectation. Jamal, we are in the locker room. I wouldn't look at you and go, you're a 5-star recruit, I'm a 4-star recruit, you should take the last shot. That's not a conversation for the athletes. Now, when we're talking about the ADs, the fans, the coaches, the parents, that's when I think the discussion comes up of my son, my player, is a #1 ranked athlete. Other than that, I don't think the players are sitting around thinking about this.
You're talking about if you're a player, you wouldn't look to a 5-star or 4-star, you wouldn't say that in the locker room. If you played with LeBron James, wouldn't you expect LeBron James to take the last shot instead of you?
Okay, come on, Jamal. We all know LeBron is the one outlier in this situation. LeBron's been called the #1, the prodigy, since he was a sophomore in high school. That's not the run for the average Joe of a guy who's #1 in Michigan. So yeah, if LeBron was in my locker room, I'm asking him to take the last shot.
Sports fan is obviously short for fanatic. The fanatic part is what creates these unfair expectations for these athletes. However, you check these high school players' Twitter profiles and you'll see they'll call themselves a 4-star, 5-star. They're tweeting about every offer that they get. They want you to know how good they are. It does drive some of these athletes. I think these players do buy into it, and the fans certainly feed those expectations.
I've been fortunate enough to be around some of these guys who were ranked to be the top players in the state. And that's never a conversation in which I've ever heard any of them have of saying, hey, did you check the ranking today? They don't go to sleep thinking about that. And sometimes these rankings can even help. You look at a guy local, Matt Judon, who came out of Grand Valley. He left the same high school that I went to with 0 Division I offers. Not having a ranking put a chip on his shoulder, and he went out there and proved himself, and now he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. Do the rankings matter to fans? Maybe. To athletes? I don't think it's ever in the back of their mind.
So what do you think? We want to hear from you.
Head to the 13 on Your Side Facebook page or text COURT to 616-559-1310 and comment. And next week, we'll highlight our favorites.
Until next week, Sports Court is adjourned.